These are all solve questions. Solve. Solve means you're going to have to find out what the variable is. In all these questions, theta is the variable. Okay? So, if you look at the first, actually, I'm not going to even do number 3, I'm going to do number 5 and number 6, okay? Number 5 looks like this. Tan squared theta plus tan theta equals 0. If I said x equals tan theta, what I'm basically solving is this equation here. And does anybody remember how to solve this equation? X bracket equals 0. So either x equals 0 or x equals minus 1. In effect, what we're solving is this. Excuse me. What we're solving is this. We're solving tan theta equals 0 and tan theta equals minus 1. In this exercise, you're going to be constantly using your circles. And you're going to be using the ASTC over and over again. Now, yeah, ASTC. Now guys, what you got to remember is when is tan 0? Alright, so let's try tan 0. 0 is an answer. What do you think the next answer is going to be then? I'm going to go for 180. Let's try tan 180. Tan 180 is also 0. So theta equals 0, it equals 180. And what's the next one, do you think? 360, because it goes around a full revolution, right? Let's test it out. Once again, available in your tables, these numbers are, so it should tell you on page 13, you have that information available to you for the most part. You'll get the 0 on the 180 right away. Alright guys, this one here is a problem because it has an actual angle. We have to find the reference number first. Tan of the reference number equals what? 1. So therefore R equals tan inverse 1. R therefore is 45 degrees. What are the two quadrants we need? If tan is negative, what's the two quadrants we need? Second and fourth. What's the rule for the second? 180 minus reference. And what's the rule for the other one? So the next two answers are going to be 180 minus 45, 135, and after that 360 minus 45, 315. Is that alright? Lads, the next question on is basically this here. It's just solve the quadratic, and this time x is equal to what? What's x equal to this time, guys? X equals sine theta. Do you understand? So when you look at these equations, alright, whichever one you're given, you should only ever be given one of them. You can't have sine and cos's mixed in the same equation, otherwise you can't solve it. If you do have them mixed, you gotta get rid of them. Okay? So look at this. 2 sine squared theta minus sine theta minus 1. I said let x be equal to sine theta. You have 2x squared minus x minus 1 equals 0. Do your reference number. What's the reference number? Anybody? Minus 2. Minus 2 breaks up into minus 2 and plus 1. 2x squared minus 2x plus 1x minus 1 equals 0. Take out 2. What happens when you take out 2? What you get? 2 bracket x 2x bracket x minus 2. Oh wait. X minus 1, because it doesn't. The second one won't work out. Plus 1 into x minus 1 equals 0. So here's your 2x plus 1. X minus 1 equals 0. X will equal 1, or x equals minus a half. This means the following. It means sine theta equals minus a half. Sine theta equals 1. Look at the 1. Go to your tables on page 13. When does sine equal 1? The answer is theta equals 90 degrees. Does it equal 1 any other time? It doesn't for 180, it doesn't for 270, and because it doesn't for 0, it most definitely doesn't for 360. This one has one answer. This one, however, has more than one answer. What do we do when you see sine theta equals a half? What do we do? Sine of the reference number is plus a half. R equals sine inverse a half, and when you sine inverse a half, you should get 30 degrees, is it? Okay, 30 degrees. Sine is negative. What quadrants does this belong in then? It belongs in 3 and 4. What's the rules for 3 and 4? 380 is 180 plus R. 4 is 360 minus R. What's my two answers then? 210 and 330. Okay, moving on, because they're easy now. Okay, look at these ones. Now, here's the problem. Okay, look at this equation here and compare this equation to what you did at the very beginning. In the very beginning, you either had all sines, all coses, or all tans. Do you understand? These questions here, the medium range questions, what they'll do to you is they'll give you sine squared theta and cos squared theta. They'll give you a mixture. What you need to do is you need to get rid of one of them. So write down this formula here. It'll come in very useful. And decide which one you want to get rid of. It doesn't matter which one you want to get rid of. You can't go wrong. So for the sake of this, the obvious choice would be the sine squared theta, wouldn't it? And you can replace sine squared theta with 1 minus cos squared theta. Alright? So sine squared theta equals 1 minus cos squared theta. Replace it. 1 minus cos squared theta plus 3 cos squared theta. Bring over the 2 over the other side. Minus 2 equals 0. Happy with that? Then what we're looking at here is 2 cos squared theta. Oh, we have nothing but cos squared thetas, do we? And that's going to be minus 1 equals 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation, but I'd like to solve it like this, if you will. Bring the 1 over the other side, and we get cos squared theta equals 1. Cos squared theta therefore equals a half. Now, cos theta is therefore going to be what, guys? Plus or minus the square root of a half. The square root of a half is 1 divided by root 2. Does anybody know the in-between? The in-between is root 1 over 2 equals root 1 divided by root 2. Root 1 is 1 and root 2 is still root 2. You go to your tables and you have two answers. Cos theta equals plus 1 over root 2. Cos theta equals minus 1 over root 2. ASTC. Now guys, what's the reference angle for both of them actually, as it turns out? Reference angle is 1 over root 2 cos inverse it, and we get the reference angle is 45. Now guys, this means the following. 45 degrees is an answer. Why is 45 degrees one of the answers? Because it's meant to be plus 1 over root 2. So the first answer is 45. What other value is cos positive for? Huh? The fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant is going to be 360 minus R, which is, anybody? 315. You also have two quadrants where you want it to be negative. And when you want them to be negative, what happens? What two quadrants does it belong in? S and T. So what will be the two answers for that? 180 minus R, which is 135. And then finally 180 plus R, which is 225. Okay. Lads, the second one is answered very similar to the first one, okay? The second one, oh wait, there is a second one. I did this here, didn't I? Now guys, it says theta, doesn't it say radians, yeah? All my answers are in degrees. Well, looking for me, what you do to convert, how do you convert degrees into radians again? Divide by 180 and add on a pi. Pi over 4, what's 315 divided by 180? 7 over 4 pi. And then finally the next one's going to be 3 pi over 4. And the other one after that will be 5 pi over 4. Okay guys. We might here it's going to be show that sine 5x plus sine x equals tan 3x cos 5x plus cos x. It's sine a plus b, and I'm also looking for cos a plus cos b. Now what it turns out to be, when I look up both formulas on page 15, what I'm going to get is this. I'm going to get 2 cos a plus b over 2, and then I'm going to get cos a minus b over 2, and then on the top I'm going to get what is it going to be, sine 2 sine a plus b over 2 and cos a minus b over 2. Right away the two of them will cancel no matter what they are. Now all we've got to worry about is this here. A is 5x and b is x. So it's going to turn out to be 2 sine 6x divided by 2 divided by 2 cos a plus b being 6x over 2. And they're both turned out to be, they're 3x's, aren't they? And what's the 2 divided by the 2 cancels. Tan a equals sine a over cos a. By that logic, tan 3x equals sine 3x over cos 3x. And the two of them will therefore turn into tan 3x. That's proven. Okay? Now we're on the second part. Okay? And the second part, I won't get to do it all now, but here's what's going to happen. You're going to get tan 3x equals 1. Yeah? It's going to be 2 quadrants, isn't it? So it's going to be 2 quadrants ASTC. So it's going to be A and T. Okay? And when I tan inverse a half, when I tan inverse 1, what's R going to be? R is going to be 45. So it's 45 degrees and what's the other one? 180 plus R, which is 225. Now remember, x element R means you got to take all the rotations into account. So 3x equals 45, 3x equals 225. But you also have to add in the 360n. Divide both sides by 3, and what you get is 15 plus 120n, and you also get 75 plus 120n. How do you do the second part then, guys? Keep inserting n values until you go over 360. Wait 1 second. N equals 0, it's 15 and 75. When n equals 1, it's 135 and 195. Keep going, okay? Lads,